Morning booktube. Welcome to the first day of the vlog. It is Friday morning. I'm awake. I'm dressed. It's just before 9 o'clock. The husband and I are heading out to brunch with my parents. So yeah, just thought I'd check in and say hi. See you in a bit. Oh, and that is the cat complaining as usual. Bye. Hi guys, it has been a while since I've updated you. I am really bad at this whole vlogging thing. It is now about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I have been busy all day. As you can see, I look pretty tired. That's because I am pretty tired. I might have to have a nap. Oh, and wave hello to the vlog. There's the husband. So what did we do today? We went for brunch, which was absolutely yummy. And then I dropped my husband back off at home, and my mom and I went to the yarn store. And I'm sorry I didn't get any video. We weren't there for very long. I kind of went in and got what I wanted. I don't have it within reach right now, but I will show you guys in another clip, I promise. And then I went and got my nails done because they needed to be done badly. And then the husband and I went grocery shopping, and now I'm home. So yeah, I am going to sit now and relax because I've been kind of on the go all day. I'm going to listen to my audiobook. I am currently listening to The Perfect Match by Kristen Higgins, being narrated on audio by Amy Rubinette, or Rubinette, I think. I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. And I'm going to do some knitting, and I will check in with you guys later. Bye. Bernard is currently assisting me with my knitting. Oh, and now he's done. Hey guys, it's been a bit since I updated. I think yesterday afternoon was the last time I updated you, but stuff has kind of happened. So I apologize for not having as many clips for this vlog, but last night I was going out to grab pizza for dinner for the husband and I, and driving my car, I was getting off the highway and I made the turn and it sounded like something snapped right near the tires or something. Like it literally felt like the tire fell off the car, like it was that bad. And then of course I kind of rolled it to a stop. And you know, the engine's fine. The car turns on, no check engine light comes on or anything like that. But the tires, like when you hit the gas, the tires won't like spin. So obviously that's a problem. It is currently, I had to wait last night for like an hour for roadside assistance to come, and then they towed the car for me, and it's being looked at. I just literally woke up, if you can't tell. I just called the mechanics and let them know that, yeah, that's my car, and could you please look at it and let me know. So yeah, gonna be a quiet rest of the day. But anyway, I'll check in with you guys a bit later. Bye. Hi booktube, just a quick update. It is about lunchtime on Saturday, and sadly this video has now, or this vlog if you will, is about to become pretty boring. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take you guys with me anywhere because I'm really not going anywhere for the next few days. I heard back from the mechanic, and the drive shaft broke in the car. He said I was super duper lucky that I was not like on the highway, like going really fast when it actually happened, because it could have ended really badly. I was getting off like the highway, and I was accelerating around the corner, but I still wasn't doing like the high highway speeds that you would normally do. So anyway, luckily it's a relatively inexpensive fix in terms of car repairs. I think around like $500 or $600, which is a good thing. The bad thing is that I might not get the car back till Monday at the earliest. He has a guy that he thinks can repair or rebuild the drive shaft, and if that's the case, I'll get it back Monday night, which will be fantastic. I'm actually, like, I think you guys know I'm not working on Monday, so that's a bonus. The bad thing is, if he can't rebuild it, I'm looking at a week to get it back because they have to order the part in from the States. I know, won't. So this has now become a very relaxing at-home weekend. So I should get a lot of reading, a lot of knitting done, a lot of booktube watching done. You know, now that I know the situation with the car and what it's going to cost to fix, and, you know, what my ETA of getting it back is, I'm not super worried about it. I was really, really anxious. I didn't sleep well last night. I worry about a lot of things like this, especially when it comes to money. And it's the only vehicle that my husband and I have. And my parents are being super duper awesome because my dad offered to, if I don't get the car back for a week, he's offering to drive me to and from work, which is super awesome of him. And he's taking my husband to work and back over the next couple days, or tonight at least. And Garrett might take vacation time. He might take Sunday night and Monday night off. He works the night shift. And then that way, you know, like he said, he hates relying on other people, like, you know, when, you know, other than me. But anyway, so that's kind of a life update, reading update. So it's been a little while. I've been reading my book. I am reading Wrestling, what is it called? One by Dolores Fawson. Wrestling Up Trouble, the third book in the Sweetwater Ranch series. So far I'm enjoying it. I'm about 5 chapters in. I actually have planned to finish it today. I have not done a lot of like ebook reading over the last couple days. On Thursday and Friday, I expected to be almost finished it by today, but I'm literally just starting it. I've been busy. I like, sorry, that was the hubby sneezing and it scared. The cat's sitting like right here. I'll show him to you afterward. So I've been reading that. It's a really good story. The guy's kind of got amnesia. He doesn't remember anything. And he had a one night with the female lead, Rayanne, and she is now pregnant, of course, as these things always happen in romance novels. And of course, there's, you know, hired henchmen after them. So far it's really good and I'm enjoying it. I've been watching some BookTube. I've been catching up on all the March Mystery Madness videos, which is great. And I am about to, actually, I'm just waiting. My dad's taking my mom somewhere, and he offered to stop by and bring me coffee because I wanted a coffee. Yes, I have them at home, and I can make them in the Keurig, but it's not the same. I'm sorry. So my dad's bringing me up a coffee, which is super awesome. And then after that, I'm going to go jump in the shower because I desperately need to. And then I plan on filming some videos. So you guys will actually see both those videos that I plan on filming before you see this. Because the one, of course, is my weekly reads for this week, which will be going up today. And then the other one, I'm doing an extra video this week. You guys are going to be so sick of me by the end of March. But Lizzie Faye, Elizabeth over at Lizzie Faye Loves Books posted a March Mystery Madness book tag. And I'm like, yes, I want to do the book tag. So I'm going to film that today and post it tomorrow on Sunday. So you guys are going to get that extra video. And again, by the time you see this, you will have already probably seen those. But anyway, guys, just checking in. I will catch up with you later. Bye. I forgot, I promised to show you Lazy Cat. This is Bernard. Crashed out in the bed. The lazy cat that he is. He's a good boy. Aren't you, Bernard? Yeah. Say hi to the people. Hi, people. All right. Bye, guys. Hey, BookTube. It is Saturday evening. Or, yeah, it's the evening. Not much has happened since the last time I talked to you guys. I filmed 2 videos today. I just wasn't in the mood to film, like, all of them. But because I'm off on Monday and I have the time, I'm going to sit and do the other ones then. So I've got a video going up later this evening. And, I mean, you guys will have already seen this by then. But later this evening and then again on Sunday. You can see in the reflection, I am currently editing. Yay, fun times. I don't mind the editing process, to be completely honest. I don't cut out a lot, so it's really, really easy to do. When I'm done this, I'm going to do a little bit of knitting on my blanket, and I'm going to finish my audiobook. I am almost done it, and I want to get it done, so I will update you guys then. Bye. Hi, guys. It's a little bit later in the evening than the last time I talked to you. I am currently uploading my video, this week's video. I can't turn the camera around to show you, though. Sorry. So I'm doing that, and I'm about to just plop down here and finish listening to my audiobook. I have an hour and a bit left on it, and I really want to get it done. So I'm going to do some knitting on my blanket. I like working on my blanket when I am listening to an audiobook because the blanket is completely mindless. It's like knit, knit, knit every row. You just have to decrease every other row, but it's so intuitive and mindless. I've got it down pat. So yeah, I'll be doing that. But let me show you what... Oh, and I'll also I'll show you what my blanket currently looks like, and I will we will open my next mini together because, and you guys are gonna probably laugh, I bought a whole bunch of these at the dollar store at Halloween this year. These little treat bags, they were like 100 of them for $1 or $2 or something, and I like to put the little minis in these little bags, and then I like literally reach in and take one out every time. So I can't see in, because even if I just put them in a big bucket and like put my hand in, I can still kind of see what colors they are. And I really want this to be as random as possible. So I've got about 30 of them in a bucket right now, like all tied up like this. And it kind of makes a little bit of fun too, you know what I mean? So let me turn the camera around and I will show you guys. So first of all, because I can't show you on my phone because I listen to my audiobook on my phone, and that's what I'm filming on, this is what I'm currently reading, is The Perfect Match by Kristen Higgins. I'm about, as of last night, about 70% of the way through it. I will get it done tonight. I'm super duper excited about it. It is such a good book, you guys. Absolutely awesome on audio. But anyway, my blanket. Oh, there's my big water jug. So here is my sock yarn blanket. I added these 2 squares, this one and this one yesterday. Hey, they match. That was completely unintentional. So I added these 2 squares yesterday while I was listening to my audiobook. This is all I've added. Right there's the doohickey showing the last one. These 6 are all I've added since January. I've really neglected this blanket, and I really have to get back into working on it. And I think listening to the audiobook while doing that is a great idea. But anyway, let's open my little, where'd it go? Oh, there it is, right here. Let's open this up. Let's see if we can do it one-handed. Sorry, I'm not very good at this whole vlogging thing. All right, so I can kind of see what it is from the other side. These bags are not exactly non-see-through. Oh, there it goes. So what have we got? Ooh, that's pretty, guys. Check it out. That is nice. I don't keep track of what the yarn is. Some places that I've gotten the minis from put it on, some don't. It all depends on where you get them from. This is the Opal Rainforest. This is really cool yarn. Focus, would you please? Thank you. This is really cool yarn, and it actually self-stripes, guys. And it does a pattern. It's very, very cool. Where's another one? Did I put one in? Okay, so here's another one. Not really, but that's another one of the Opal Rainforest. I think that one is Chameleon. I think we figured out that that's what it was called. But yeah, so I will be adding this one in and finishing my audiobook, and I will check in with you guys later. Bye! Hey guys, it's 11:15 on Saturday night, and I just finished listening to The Perfect Match by Kristen Higgins. And if you can't tell, I've spent the last half hour listening to that book crying. It gets me, oh my god. Every book of hers gets me at some point, and I can guarantee I will be laughing out loud at certain scenes, and I can guarantee that I will be sobbing at certain scenes. But yeah, just the stuff that happens in the last, like, that last hour and a half of the book is just, oh, it's so good. 5 stars all the way. I absolutely loved it. That was kind of a given going in. Like I think I said, I talked about this in my weekly wrap-up that I just filmed this afternoon, but this is my second read-through of The Perfect Match, and the first time I read it was, we're probably going on 4 or 5 years, and I've read a lot of books since then, and this couple has stuck with me. Honor and Tom are just flippin' amazing, and I love them. But yeah, so stay tuned this week, coming for more of my wrap-up to talk about the book more. But anyway, like I said, it's 11:15. I'm really not tired because I had a nap this afternoon. I know I'm bad. I really shouldn't do that because I don't sleep at night, but then it's like, what's that, like a catch-22? So like it happened yesterday, and I didn't sleep well yesterday either because of the car. I think I was telling you guys. Because I was worried about, you know, what was wrong with the car, how much was the car going to cost me, blah, blah, blah. But the night before that, I hadn't slept. So then yesterday afternoon, I had a nap. And then last night, I couldn't sleep. So I was tired this afternoon, so I laid down. And now I'm not tired, and I probably won't get to bed till 1 in the morning. But the one bonus about not having a vehicle is that I didn't have to drive my husband into work tonight. I know, that's horrible of me, isn't it? My dad was actually super awesome and came and picked him up. But because I don't have to drive Garrett in, that means I don't have to pick Garrett up in the morning at 7 a.m. So my alarm is not going to go off at 20 after 6 on a Sunday. Big bonus. So I get to sleep in tomorrow. So I don't have to rush to bed, which is beautiful. So I think I'm going to go make a cup of tea. And I think I'm going to watch some booktube and work on my sweater a little bit until I get tired. I'm going to go have my sleepy time tea. Oh, do you guys want to see my tea cupboard? I can show you guys my tea cupboard. So somebody insisted on being on camera. He was crying and whining, weren't you, sir? Say hello. Please excuse my very cluttered apartment. We are hoping to move into a larger place. We have a lot of stuff. Fortunately, I mean, we're very fortunate to have a lot of stuff. Over behind me, maybe I'll show you guys that tomorrow. That is my yarn section. And yes, I still have my Christmas lights up there. They are. And there's where I film. Right over there by the cat tower. But yeah, so here's my apartment. Sort of, kind of. Anyway, let's go make a cup of tea. Because I am itching for a cup of tea. So, walking into my kitchen. Please ignore, like I said, the clutter. It's pretty bad. Is there enough water in here? He never leaves me enough water in this thing. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to hold the phone and do stuff at the same time. It's difficult. Sorry, hold on. I love tea. I especially love my sleepy time tea, so let me show it to you, okay? So, here's the tea cupboard. Hold on. Yeah. That is all tea. And I mean, like, to the back of the cupboard. Like, piled back there, I've got more bags that are unopened. With tea, the beauty part is that as long as they're not open, they're not going to go bad or anything like that. So, yeah. But anyway, the one that I'm going to have right now, we're going to close that cupboard. This one, anytime I have to go to the US, I buy this, like, in bulk. I'll show you. Look. So, sorry, if I don't do it, I have to turn the phone around. It's a pain. So, see these boxes, these orange boxes right here over my shoulder? I've got 4 boxes left, and I'm not going to the States again until October. So, yeah, I might have to order some online. I did find a place I can order them online. They're a little pricey, but absolutely worth it. This is my most favorite tea ever. This is my bedtime tea. I have a cup every single night. I didn't have it last night because I was too stressed out. I should have, maybe. It might have helped me sleep. But no kidding. No, honestly, now that I'm saying it out loud, because I didn't have this last night, I slept horribly. This helps me sleep, and you can only find it in the States. Now, you can buy yogi tea in Canada, but you can't get this kind for some reason. So it is the Soothing Caramel Bedtime Tea. I don't know if this is backwards for you guys. I don't think so. Sorry, Gorn's wandering around crying. I think he wants treats. But yeah, it is really, really yummy. And like I said, it says supports a good night's sleep. And I have a cup every night. So I'm going to make a cup now. And I probably won't check in with you guys again tonight. I'm going to watch some, like I said, some booktube and get some knitting done. But I will talk to you all in the morning. Bye, guys. Morning, booktube. It is Sunday morning. It's just after 11. I've just had my breakfast, a homemade egg McMuffin. I prefer them over McDonald's. I love McDonald's breakfast. I'm a huge fan. It's probably my favorite thing to get from McDonald's, but I like making my own egg McMuffins at home. I find they're not as greasy, and they're really, really yummy. But anyway, I am sitting here this morning drinking my coffee, and I am working some more on my blanket, and listening to an audiobook. I'm listening to Rock Courtship by Nalini Singh. It is book 1.5 in the Rock Kiss series. I realized after I read book 2 last month that there was a novella, and that novella is actually available on Audible for the romance package. So that's pretty cool. Now, in terms of novella, it's actually really not that short. It's about 125 pages, it says, as per Goodreads. And the audio is a little over 4 hours long. So I'm actually able to count it for challenges, which is pretty awesome. I just joined a couple more challenges in the Million More Pages group on Goodreads, the one that's doing the fairy tale challenges. And one of them is, it's the Mad Hatter's Tea Party, and you get 3 people per team, and you pick to be one of the characters, either Alice or the Mad Hatter or the Rabbit. And I think I am the March Hare is what he's called, so I'm actually the March Hare. They have challenges associated with each, and like you can read a book and then you spin this thing and then you pick another challenge and then you find a book for that challenge, and so on and so on. You kind of go at your own pace, so it's not like every week you have to have a new book, which is kind of great. So when I finish this one, I can spin again and then find out what my next book is going to be. And I think it's the first team to get all 3 people around the table, because you have to do 12 challenges for the 12 seats at the table, 13 if you count your first seat. And then the team that gets all the people back to their original seats you know, all the way through wins or whatever the case may be. So that one looks like fun. The other one I'm doing is a bingo challenge, which hasn't started yet. I think it starts on Monday. And there's a bingo card and there's different challenges associated with each spot. And I'm not exactly sure how it works yet, but yeah, it looks like fun too. And then, of course, I joined again the Pass the Parcel Challenge on the Triple RC group, the Romance Readers Reading Group on Goodreads. That one I did, the last one back in the fall, and I really, really love doing it. So I've been put on my team, and it starts tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? I think. I'm not too sure exactly when the first challenges get put up, but it might be tomorrow. The other thing is, last night before I went to bed, I sat up and read for a bit, and I finished reading Rustling Up Trouble by Dolores Fawson, the third book in the Sweetwater Ranch series. It was a really good story. I gave it 3.5 stars. A lot of action, and the characters are really great and stuff like that. So yeah, very enjoyable. So that now makes 2 books that I have finished in March. So I'm going to get back to my knitting and listening to my audiobook. I should actually get it done soon, by the time I'm done adding these squares to this blanket. I'll show you guys the yarn I'm currently using. It's this. It's almost like, focus. It's almost like a barber pole with the yarn twisted up on itself. Do you see that? Isn't that neat? So it should look really cool. I'll show you guys when I am done this square and the next square I'm going to add. But yeah, so that's about it. My mom and dad are picking me up probably in the next hour or so, and I'm going over to my grandmother's with them for a visit. I need to get out of the house after not having the vehicle, kind of being stuck inside all day yesterday. You know, it's a great idea in theory, but the walls start to kind of close in on me. Even if I go just for 20 minutes just to go to the store, I need to get out of the house every day. So I'm going over to my grandmother's today, and my aunt's with my parents. So yeah, but anyway, I might not vlog there, so I probably won't talk to you guys again until after dinner. Talk to you later. Bye. Hi, BookTube. It is Monday, very early afternoon. I think it's like almost 1 o'clock. I haven't updated since yesterday, and I do apologize. I'm not used to this whole vlogging thing. I wasn't feeling that great when I got home yesterday from my grandmother, so, you know. I ended up starting and finishing an audiobook yesterday. It was Rock Courtship by Nalini Singh. It is book 1.5 in the Rock Kiss series. It's only about 4 hours long on audio, so at my speed, I got it done in just a little over 2 hours. And it was a really nice, relaxing read. A good story. I quite enjoyed it. But yeah, so I got that finished. And now I'm just waiting to find out what my next audiobook is going to be, because I'm waiting for the challenges to be posted for the Once Upon a Time challenge on the Million More Pages group on Goodreads. I don't want to start something that might not fit a challenge. Do you know what I mean? I know, it sounds weird, but I do only pick from the books I have to read this month, but I don't want to start another audiobook if it doesn't fit. So I found out some more information about my car. Sorry, I got to switch hands here. The Midas called me back this morning. They actually called me just before 9 this morning. And unfortunately, the guy cannot rebuild my drive shaft, which sucks. But he did find a guy who has a wreckers, and they have a used drive shaft for a 2015 Trax, which is my car. And they can get it, and I will have my car back tomorrow. So yay on that one. It won't be till later tomorrow. They told me tomorrow afternoon sometime. I guess the guy's bringing it down or whatever it is. So yeah, so that is a big bonus, and it's quite a bit cheaper than they even originally quoted me, so that's even better. The only other crap thing today is that we have no water in my building. There was a water main break in one of the other buildings. We're in like a complex, so they had to shut off water to the entire complex. So I've got no water today, so yay. I've got my lunch. My dad came and picked me up and took me. I had to go to the grocery store, and I went over to Value Village because they are doing a big 50% off sale today, and I had really wanted to go. So I ended up getting a new pair of pants and 2 new tops. For those of you who don't know, who aren't in Canada, Value Village, I believe it's called Savers in the US. So it's essentially it's a thrift shop, essentially. But big 50% off sale on clothing, shoes, and accessories. But of course I had to go look at the books. And I'm really trying to be good, not buying a bunch of books, like physical copies of books. But there are certain authors that I do collect that I want physical copies of their books. And I saw these, and they weren't half price, but I picked them up anyway. So, little mini book haul for you guys. I got A Breath of Snow and Ashes by Diana Gabaldon. This is book 6 in the Outlander series. I am listening to all these on audio, so this is not actually going to physically probably get read by me. but I do want it on my shelf because I want all of them. And this one is just a gorgeous, gorgeous edition. So, yeah. And then, speaking of favorite authors, sorry about the shaky camera, I got Just Breathe by Susan Wiggs. I love this book. I've read it once before, years and years ago. I would love to do a reread of it. I believe I have a copy of it on ebook that I picked up for like $1.99 if it was on sale one day. But I think I might actually read this one in print format. Now, these take me a little bit longer to read, for some reason, in print book format now. I don't sit down with books anymore like this. I sit down with my e-reader. But I might just put this on my bedside table and slowly work my way through it. Like, you know, not put it on a TBR or anything like that, and just kind of work my way through it. It's a really, really, and I mean, it's a flawless hardcover edition. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. No rips, no tears, no anything. So, yep, I definitely decided to pick up this one while I was there. So like I said, sorry about the thumb. I'm going to have my lunch because I am starving, and then I'm going to sit down and film my February wrap-up that I didn't do on Saturday, and I'm also going to film my Q&A. So, and then I'm going to start compiling all these clips together. And I will probably update you at least one more time in this vlog to let you know what I'm going to finish, what audiobook I picked to continue with this week. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hi BookTube, it is Q&A time. Those of you who are watching the vlog and enjoying the vlog, thank you so very, very much. I also want to thank everybody who left me questions in my announcement video and the birthday wishes. That is fantastic. Today is my actual birthday. The big 39 today. I said to my niece, she says, "How old are you, Auntie Sarah?" I'm like, "It's the 10th anniversary of my 29th birthday," and she gave me this look. She's mastered it. She got it from me, I think, with the raising of the one eyebrow. She's like, "Really, Auntie Sarah?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm 39. She just shakes her head at me. She's so funny. But yeah, so 39 today. It's been a good weekend. I can't complain. Yeah, I had some issues. Those of you who've been watching the vlog, obviously, up until this point, you know kind of what happened. So it wasn't a perfect weekend, but it was far from being horrible. And, you know, I got to relax a lot. I got to get a lot of reading and knitting done. And you know what? What better way to spend your birthday? And today it's my birthday. It's a Monday, and I don't have to go into work because I booked the day off. So that is a chalk up in the win column as far as I'm concerned. So let's get into the questions. Some of you asked multiple questions, so thank you very much for that. So from JB, love your wedding ring. What is it exactly? Hopefully not too personal. No, not too personal at all. I am more than happy to talk about my wedding ring because there is a fun story to both of them. Actually, my wedding ring, I'm assuming you're talking about my engagement ring though. So my engagement ring is a aquamarine, which is, of course, being a March baby, it is my birthstone. This was custom designed by me. I did it. I picked the design and all that fun stuff. So the story goes with this is that when I was a little girl, my dad's sister used to travel. She used to travel quite often. She's single, and she used to go on these cruises and things like that. She was down in the islands when I was just a wee one, and there was a guy selling like stones. And she saw it and she thought, oh, it's just a blue stone, right? So it was just the stone, not the ring itself. And she bought it, and I think she said she paid $5 US for it. And this was probably in 1983 or 84. And she brought it home and she gave it to my mom, and she's like, when Sarah gets older, you know, give it to her, whatever. So years go by. I end up getting engaged. We didn't have a lot of money. And, you know, my mom's like, well, why don't you get your ring set? Like, get that stone set. And I figured it was just a blue stone. Like, she bought it for $5, you know, on an island, right? Took it to the jeweler's. It is a white gold setting because I prefer white gold over gold or rose gold. And I had it set, and when I had it set, the jeweler told me, he's like, yeah, it's a genuine aquamarine. Which, I mean, it isn't like it's a diamond that's this big. It's not the Hope Diamond or anything. But it's still fantastic that many years later, you know, it's real, and that she only paid such a small amount for it. So I love it. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. And I love that it's unique. I never wanted, like, not that I have a problem with diamonds. Diamonds are beautiful. But I always wanted something that was just a little bit different. So on top of that, my wedding band. Now, I have the original wedding band when my husband and I got married. Both of us have lost, well, he lost quite a bit of weight and then gained some of it back. But I weigh a lot less now than I did when I got married, which is usually not the way it goes. Usually, you know, you lose all this weight for your wedding and then just happen to gain it as you get, you know, older. So my wedding band does still fit me, but my husband's does not. So a couple years ago, I think it was for our 5th wedding anniversary, because we just passed our 7th, we'll be 8 this year. we decided to get matching wedding bands because the wedding bands that we have didn't match each other's. Mine was just an infinity of, like, let's be honest, again, we didn't have a lot of money, of fake diamonds. My husband's was a titanium ring that had Roman numerals on it. It was more something that we both liked because we're the ones who are wearing them. So I looked on Etsy and I found this seller who was selling these rings. And my husband is the world's biggest Star Wars fan. I'm not, we have an entire room where it's just his Star Wars collectibles. He has a custom-made lightsaber. He has the helmets. He's seen all the movies a million times. He goes on opening night for the new ones that are coming out. I have never seen a Star Wars movie in my life. So my wedding band now, and this is one of the only things from the movie that I know, is that, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to read it, but the outside of my ring says, I love you. Okay? And the inside, actually, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, probably not, but the inside of my ring actually says, I know, which is, I guess, between not Luke, it wouldn't be Luke, Han Solo and Leia. It's an exchange that the two of them have. My husband's ring says, I know on the outside and says, I love you on the inside. So even though I'm not a Star Wars person, I still think it's a really cute ring. And it's funny because, you know, I'll be out somewhere, and I was at work a couple weeks ago and there was a couple guys talking in the lunchroom about Star Wars, and I'm like, oh yeah, have you seen my wedding band? And I become the coolest wife ever that our wedding rings are Star Wars related. So yes, I hope that answers your question. Okay. Question number 2, she asked 2 questions. How old were you when you started reading and why? Oh gosh, I've been reading since I was a kid. Like, I don't remember not reading. It's something that my parents did with us when we were really little. My dad likes to mention to me that the first book that he ever read to me, I mean, outside of your Green Eggs and Ham and you know, Cat in the Hat, was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. He said like, they just read to us, me and my brother, like that. They didn't care. We, as kids, we didn't care, you know, especially when we were really little. And Dad's like, if I'm going to sit and read to you, I might as well read something that I enjoy. Makes sense to me. But I remember as a kid having this collection of leather-bound children's classics, and I don't know where they are. I wish I could find them again. They might be buried somewhere in my parents' basement. But it was like Little Women, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Heidi, Robinson Crusoe, Alice in Wonderland, you know, all these beautiful leather-bound. It was a set, and I remember those distinctly. The first books I remember reading by myself were the Babysitter's Club, which of course I've mentioned on this channel numerous times. They are a throwback series for me, and I love them. And again, my dad brought them home when he used to travel. He used to go golfing in Myrtle Beach for a week every fall with his friends, and he would bring us back presents, and he started bringing me back books, and it kind of just became like a tradition that he would bring me back these books when I was little. So I was about 7 or 8 when I was getting those. So, but yeah, I've been reading probably for as long as I've been able to read. Next question. Oh, thank you, Emily. She just wished me a happy birthday and congrats on 600 subscribers. Thank you so, so much. Shannon, the same. Thank you, Shannon. Ambi Crafts Reads. She asked me a couple questions. She said hers is Sunday. Hers was yesterday, so happy birthday. 1, what is your favorite color? Orange. This teal blue color is my other favorite. My 2 favorite colors are orange and teal. My car is orange, and my last car that I had was this color. I like really, really bright colors. The flowers when I got married were orange and like bright colors like that, and I had wanted my shoes to be teal, but I couldn't find a pair in a color that I liked. So yeah. Number 2 is, do you have future read-along plans? Not at this time, no. But I'm wondering, I don't know, what do you guys think? I was thinking about doing like a summer beach read-along or something, like in July or in August. You know, I mean, romance novels tend to be synonymous with beach reads. Do you know what I mean? I guess genre fiction tends to be synonymous with beach reads, but romance novels especially, for some reason, there's so many of them. Like Mary Kay Andrews does like nothing but books that would be considered beach reads. So if that's something you guys would be interested, please let me know. I'll mention it again, you know, in future videos or something. But I think that might be kind of fun, like I know with what Elizabeth's doing with March Mystery Madness, it might be fun to do like, a July beach reads month or something where we have different categories and kind of along the same idea. It doesn't just have to be romance. I mean, it could just be any genre fiction, with romance or thrillers or anything like that, mystery. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Do you have any spring romance recommends? I don't know. Contemporary romance. I was just, where did it go? Oh, darn it. I've got my my book sitting on, or my camera sitting on top of it. I was at Value Village earlier this morning, which is a thrift store, and oh, you guys probably saw it already. But I just bought Susan Wiggs's Just Breathe. That is a fantastic, fantastic book. When I do read it, it's going to be a reread for me, but it's about a woman who finds out her husband is cheating on her, and around the same time finds out she's pregnant with his twins. And of course they separate and she goes back home, and you kind of got like the meddling family of the two. There's something about meddling aunts in books that I just love. And she has that from her aunts. And, she meets up with the guy that she knew in high school kind of idea. Those books are fantastic. Sarah Morgan's series, From Manhattan with Love, is fantastic if you're looking for something light. Pretty much any contemporary romance that's on the lighter side. The one I just finished in February, About a Dog by Jenna McKay, absolutely recommend that one. It was fantastic, a very spring-like type book. But yeah, stuff like that, that's absolutely what I would recommend. Anything that I've read recently that I can think of. And what are your favorite authors? Heather Graham, of course, from the Crew of Hunters series. Eloisa James and Julia Quinn. And Tessa Dare and Sabrina Jeffries are now some of my favorite authors. I've been reading them over the past year and a half. Historical romance wasn't really something I got too much into, but now I'm really, really loving it. And those 4 authors I absolutely recommend all day long. They inject such great humor into their stories. Susan Wiggs, Susan Mallory, Cheryl Woods would be, I jokingly would refer to as the Holy Trinity of contemporary romance authors. They write some brilliant series, long-running series. Like Susan Wiggs has the Lakeshore Chronicles series that starts off with Summer at Willow Lake. Absolutely recommend that book. Susan Mallory writes the Fool's Gold series that starts off with, I think it's Finding Perfect or Chasing Perfect. I think it might be Chasing Perfect as the first book. Another long-running series. And Cheryl Woods does the Chesapeake Shores series, which the first book in that one is The Inn at Eagle Point. And all those are long-running, great characters, fantastic small-town contemporary romance books. I absolutely love them. They are what I really, truly cut my teeth on in terms of romance novels. And they are, like I jokingly said, the Holy Trinity. Like, they are my absolute favorites. Anytime they bring out a book, I will read it. I've got a lot of new favorite authors too, but I will always go. Those are the tried and true. Do you know what I mean? So let's see. What else do we have here? And the last ones are from Bree. Thank you, Bree. She said thank you, or she said congratulations. So thanks again. What was the book or author that made you fall in love with reading romance? I surprisingly, from the ones I just mentioned, it's not that one. I didn't used to read romance a lot, but I don't know if I've told this story before, so if I have, I apologize, but if any of you are new, my aunt used to work for the Toronto Public Library before she retired. She was the head of the payroll department. And the library would often, like with Harlequin novels, I don't have any in front of me, but there's so many that are brought out every month, and the library can only carry so many actual physical copies. I think now the Toronto Public Library only buys them on ebook and buys them in bundles, and it's great for the library because they can keep them forever because they're digital, and it's not like they're going to run out of shelf space with them, right? But back in the day, there would be so many published every year that they'd have to get rid of some of them. So they used to go into like these, I guess, to be sold like within like the little libraries, like little bookstore area or something like that. But there was also areas, I guess, where they would be too damaged or they weren't being sold at the library, that they would like put them in like an area and the employees could take them. So my aunt used to bring home bags of the Harlequin books, and her and my grandmother loved reading them. To this day, my grandmother at 92 will still, and she can barely see anymore, she will still read Harlequin romance novels. She loves them. So I really try when I'm at used bookstores now, I try and find her the larger print ones just to make it a bit easier for her. But anyway, that's besides the point. So she would bring these books home. And, you know, over the summertime, we'd all go up to the cottage. My grandparents had a cottage up in Peterborough. And my aunt would leave these books laying around. And mostly what they were the Harlequin Presents, which to this day are not my favorite. But when you were 13 or 14 years old, it was like, oh, so scandalous to be looking at this, you know, this book with adult content in it. And, you know, really, to be honest, back then, it was actually relatively tame to some of the stuff I've read now. But, you know, I still found them fun. But then she started bringing home ones that were like the Harlequin Intrigue or the romantic suspense ones. And it was like, oh, these are kind of fun. And I would read one every now and then, but I really wasn't, you know, I mean, I was still like 16, 17 years old. I was reading V.C. Andrews. I was reading Anne Rice. You know, I was still actually reading the Fear Street books by R.L. Stine. You know, stuff like that. I will even admit at the time I was still reading Sweet Valley High. So I hadn't quite graduated into that point yet, but I was kind of testing the waters, right? So anyway, I was in my early 20s. I must have been 21 or 22. And I had gone to, let me see if I can find the book now, because I'm going to forget the title of it. This is so bad of me. I can picture the title or I can see the book in my head. You know what I mean? Gosh, I was at a Walmart and I was going to the cottage. It all goes back. The cottage holds so many memories for me as a kid, especially when it comes to reading. There was nothing better than sitting out by the lake with a book. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I had stopped at Walmart on my way up to the cottage. And sorry, I'm typing and talking at the same time. I do apologize. I was looking at the books because I thought I didn't have anything in my hand to actually read. And I wanted a book to bring with me. So I was going through and I saw the cover of this book. And I'm like, okay, that looks like a lot of fun. I can't make it any bigger. But it is called, it was actually a Harlequin Duets novel, which is, they were more on the romantic comedy side. And you get two books in one. So essentially that's why it was called a duet. They didn't necessarily have anything to do with each other. Some of them did. Some of them would be like, you know, like a little mini series, book one, book two. This one was not. And the books were called, and this book was called Heaven Sent, Scent, and Shotgun Nanny. And it was by Jacqueline Diamond and Nancy Warren. I'm trying to find a copy of it again because I'd love to reread it. But it was really, really cute. And the first story, The Heaven Sent, I believe, was about a woman who kind of goes to this ranch and becomes a nanny, and she's not meant to be a nanny. She's like from the city. And I think I flew through it in about 2 days, and I loved it. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic book. Again, there's the cover. And that's kind of what made me fall in love with romance. I realized that it doesn't have to be the bodice rippers that a lot of people assume it is. You know, that Fabio cover with the woman, with the chest popped. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that. It can be light and fun like a romantic comedy, and that's where I fell in love with romance. Long story short. Let me see here. She had a couple other questions. Who is one author you wish more people would read? I don't know. I have a lot of them. I think just in terms of romance, I just wish people would give it more of a try. There's something for everybody, truly. And I've said this 100 times, if you want really, really erotic, what have you, try out the Dare books by, from Harlequin, or try, Sylvia Day? I haven't read her. Megan Hart. Megan Hart does amazing. Now, I know some people have commented that the Harlequin Dare line is Harlequin's first kind of foray into the erotic book market, but they're really not. Years and years and years ago, they had a line called Spice that are no longer published, and they were their first erotic romance novels. And there's an author who wrote for them at the time named Megan Hart. Last name is Hart. And I read a book by her that I cannot for the life of me right now remember the name of. I don't want to spend the time looking it up again. It was about a woman who lost her boyfriend or something like that, and then she essentially finds him again, but it might not be him, it might be his spirit. I know, sounds like really weird, but it was so well written, and I absolutely recommend Megan Hart if that's what you're looking for. If you want romantic suspense, you know, check out, again, I always recommend to people to check out Harlequins if you can, but Cindy Meyer, Dolores Fawson writes for Outside of Harlequin. I think they're still published under the Harlequin banner, but they're not the category romance or they're not part of the imprints. BJ Daniels is the same way. Linda Leal Miller, I think. She's great too. Kristen Higgins all the way. I love Kristen Higgins. I mean, she is a New York Times bestselling author, and I know everybody is reading her. But I find a lot of people are now really enjoying her more women's fiction books, which are great. I love them. The last few that she's written have been slightly different than her original books, but I recommend you definitely go back and check out her back catalog. Just One of the Guys was fantastic. I just finished The Perfect Match, which you guys watched the vlog. I cried at the end of. You know, check out definitely her back catalog as well. I could sit here and make recommendations all day long. And if you guys are ever interested in any other kind of recommendations videos, please let me know in the comments below, because I would be more than happy to start doing that for you guys. And question number 3. What is a recent read that you think would make a great film adaptation? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. All of them? Gosh, I'm trying to think. About a Dog was really adorable that I read in February. That would make a really, really cute romantic comedy, I think. The Perfect Match that I just finished, that I just mentioned, would also make... Actually, any of Kristen Higgins' works would be great. Now, this one isn't a recent read, but as soon as I read it, and I read this book... I've read it, and my mother has read it, and we both said the same thing, that it would be great as a film adaptation. And that is... The Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna, the one who wrote The Nightingale. This is one that's on her back catalog, and I picked it up, I think, at a used bookstore, and because the cover kind of jumped out at me. But oh my god, guys, this is an amazing book, and I know so many people are talking about The Nightingale and her new book, The Great Alone, that's come out, and that's definitely on my radar to read, along with more books on her backlist. But this one I could not recommend enough. It just spoke to the historical fiction buff in me. It's about 2 sisters, and they are older, like in their 40s, and their father is dying. And when these girls were little, like their mother is Russian, when these women were little girls, they used to put on this play, and their mother would tell them this fairy tale about, you know, a princess and a prince and things like that. And, you know, they kind of grew up listening to this fairy tale, but they never really heard the end of the fairy tale. And now that they're older, they're in their 40s, like I said, one is married, one travels, I think, for work. She's a photographer or something. And the father's dying, and he tells the mother that she needs to finish telling them this story. So then it goes back into Russia in World War II and how they survived. And, you know, what really drew me into this story was the fact that we hear so much about World War II. We know a lot about World War II, about how horrific it was for the Jews, and how horrible the Nazis were, and, you know, the fighting in France and the fighting in, you know, where have you, in Poland and things like that. The one area, at least in any history class that I ever took, or anything that I've really read, that we don't dive into is what happened in Russia during World War II. I had no idea what happened with the city of St. Petersburg during World War II, and how pretty much they were walled in, and the people in that city were left to die in the middle of a horrible winter without food. And this story delves into that greatly, and this woman's, you know, determination to get out of this situation. And it was utterly fascinating reading and heartbreaking. I sobbed through probably the last quarter of this book, but I read this book probably 5 or 6 years ago, and it still speaks to me. There are still scenes that I can recall in my head even now, and it would make an unbelievably fantastic movie, I think. So yeah, I absolutely recommend that one too. So anyway, guys, this clip was a lot longer than I intended it to be. I'm sure you're okay with that. But I do appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so very, very much. If you ever have any questions for me, or like I said, if you have any thing that you want me to do recommendations on, please let me know. You know, just please post anything in the comments below. I will absolutely take everything into account, and, you know, I can look at it later, do videos down the line. you know, I want to make this channel. I mean, this channel ultimately, I love doing this. This is a hobby for me. But getting to talk to you guys has been the fun part. And with having, you know, with my subscribers being as awesome as they are and talking to me and offering suggestions and comments and questions, I love the interaction. I really, really love the interaction. And yeah, so anyway, guys, that is it. I will see you guys in my next clip. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey, BookTube. I think I'm going to just end the vlog off here because it is, it's about 5 o'clock at night on Sunday, and not much else is really going to happen tonight. The hubby's going to get up and he's making me dinner. We're having tacos. It's one of my favorite things to have because it's my birthday. So we're going to be doing that, and then we're probably just going to be relaxing. My plan is actually to sit and knit on my sweater and watch Law & Order. I actually own the complete series on DVD, like all 20 seasons. I bought it off of eBay a number of years ago. I am a huge, huge fan of Law & Order. It's like my favorite TV show of all time. All 4 of my cats that I've had have been intentionally and in one case unintentionally named after detectives from the show. Gorn, of course, from Law & Order Criminal Intent, played by the amazing Vincent D'Onofrio. Logan was his brother. Logan passed away about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. Of course, named after the character played by oh my gosh, Chris Noth, played Mike Logan. And Nicholas, who was our little black and white tuxedo cat who passed away last summer. Or no, he passed away this summer, excuse me, back in August. He had cancer, sadly. But I didn't realize until after the fact that, because I didn't really watch the Criminal Intent after D'Onofrio left, but what's his name? The guy that everybody loves from Jurassic Park. He was also in The Fly. Jeff Goldblum. I always think of the girls from the restricted section whenever I think of Jeff Goldblum. He played a character in Law & Order Criminal Intent named Nicholas. That was his last name, or his first name. But anyway, so he was unintentionally named after a Law & Order character. Nikki came with that name when we got him. And now we have Bernard, who was named after the character played by Anthony Anderson, Detective Bernard. So yeah, again, my favorite TV show, and I just thought, you know what, why not? It gives me something to do while I'm knitting. I mean, I could be watching BookTube, but I kind of wanted to take a little break. So what am I currently reading? I thought I'd finish off the vlog by showing that to you guys. So my current ebook, I actually have 2 on the go. The first one is Lemon Meringue Pie Murder by Joanne Fluke, book number 4 in the Hannah Swenson series. Obviously reading this one as an ebook on my little Kindle. I'm about 7 chapters into this already. It's a longer book, actually. I should be done this, though, within the next few days. So this is part of March Mystery Madness. The other one, and what I spent some time doing, what I spent some time doing a little bit earlier before I sat down to record the 2 videos that I recorded, my wrap-up and the Q&A. I apologize, I just got a phone call. The benefits of filming on your phone. Somebody actually called me. Nobody calls me. Was a lot of the challenges that I'm doing, and I think I talked about this in a previous clip, that I'm doing a bingo challenge and a Mad Hatter Tea Party challenge. Well, the bingo challenge has been posted, and every team has a different card. Like, we all have the same numbers or images on the card because the card's really cool. Actually, I wonder if I can... Oh, no, I won't be able to show you guys because I can't turn the camera around. But it's like the covers of the movies, the Disney movies, like Beauty and the Beast and Pinocchio and The Little Mermaid and blah, blah, blah. So they're all in different spots on a bingo card. And every team, though, has a different bingo card, so all the spaces are random. So they called the first one, which was Beauty and the Beast, and actually looking at the challenges, it's the hardest one, is that you have to find a book that the male character, the male lead in the book, has to be somehow not be handsome. You know what I mean? So it took me, guys, I looked through books for like half an hour, 45 minutes, going through books to try and find something. And finally I found this book. And it's not on my TBR, so it's not being read from my TBR, but that's okay. And it is called Beauty and Her Boss, and it is by Jennifer Fay. This is a Harlequin romance novel, and it actually was just published in March. So this is a newer one. So they say that, the main character in this book, the male lead, is physically, he was in an accident, and he's now has scarring both physically and mentally. So I posted it, it's going to work. It is labeled on Goodreads as a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So this one should work perfectly well. And it's a Harlequin romance. They're generally not that long, or don't take that long to finish. Now, I was a little bit concerned about, sorry, I have to keep switching back and forth, about reading a book that wasn't on my TBR because my TBR is already so heavy. But I thought, if I have to once a week for these challenges to read an extra book, I'll make sure it's a Harlequin, because there's so many Harlequin novels that I should be able to find something that'll fit whatever the category is. And I can read them at night. You know, this book is only 20 chapters long. If I read it over 5 days, that's only 3 chapters a night. And these are relatively short chapters. Not difficult to do at all. So I'm not too worried about that. Plus, you have a week to finish this challenge. The next challenge will be posted next Monday. So as long as I finish it by Sunday, I'm good. So yeah. So that is that. And my audiobook, because I didn't have anything for my audiobook, I hadn't had a current one. I was waiting to see what challenges were going to be posted for the Cinderella team for the fairy tale challenge on the A Million More Pages group on Goodreads. I do so many challenges, guys. I have it all written down. You guys have no idea how organized I have to be with this. So I can remember when I'm reading for what. But anyway, plus trying to get through my TBR to boot, is Royally Endowed by Emma Chase. It's the 3rd book in the Royally series. So I'm actually happy I'm going to finish this series off, which will be really, really nice. And it's a relatively short audiobook. I think it's like under 8 hours. So I should be able to get it done in a couple days and then be able to pick up something else. So yeah, and plus it's a library book. I always try and read the library ones first because they're due back. And, you know, like I've said before, unlike a physical library book, I can't just kind of hang on to it for an extra couple days. It disappears from my device once my time is up. So, you know, that's a thing. But anyway, so that is it, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this vlog. I really want to thank you all so much for watching. The Q&A ran on a little bit longer than I anticipated. You probably already watched it. But yeah, so I'm going to sign off, and I really hope to do another one of these in the future. But yeah, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.